Hey there, and welcome to episode 4 of the Power of Practice podcast. Perception is projection.
Welcome to the Power of Practice podcast with Matthew Tweedy. Discover how to leverage the potential of your unconscious mind so you can create an abundant and empowered existence. Here's your host, Matthew Tweedy.
Okay, hello and welcome. So the next theme for this particular episode is about perception as projection. Now, perception as projection essentially says that you can only see outside of you what is inside of you. That means that the world is a mirror. Everything you see outside of yourself is you in some way, shape, or form. It's a projection of who you are. The world is a reflection of you. So there's some good news and some bad news. The good news is that the world outside of you is a reflection of you. The bad news is that the world outside of you is a reflection of you too. Now, I'm going to be totally honest. I certainly am guilty of this type of thinking myself from time to time, and it's our responsibility to catch ourselves in the moment if we want to change the way we're thinking and seeing the world to make things easier on ourselves. So looking outside in the world and seeing something or someone outside and saying, that person is X, that person is selfish, that person doesn't have any regard for others, that person. Well, as soon as you think it's not you, and as soon as you think that it is someone else, you've just moved to the effect side of the equation. So I remember my mother actually telling me when I was younger, and many of you would be familiar with this axiom. When you point one finger out at someone and point the blame out there, look how many fingers are pointing back. Because there's 3 fingers pointing back when you're pointing that finger out at someone else. So the fact of the matter is that when you're putting the blame out there, that whatever the situation is, you've got a lot more to do with it than you think. So when it comes to perception is projection, when you're pointing your finger out at someone else, that's you. When you think of that thing over there, that person, that group, those people, that's actually you. And Carl Jung, actually, from a psychological or psychology standpoint, he's the guy that came up with perception as projection. He absolutely loved perception as projection. Carl Jung would say that if you're pointing outside and getting upset or disturbed or agitated by that thing out there, that's probably the thing that you need to learn most at this moment. You're probably repeating this cycle in your life for the purpose of learning. What is the learning that you need to get, to extract, to bring to conscious awareness? Because anything outside of our conscious awareness can control us, and anything that we bring into conscious awareness, we gain control over. When we're pointing outside and putting the blame out there, we haven't got the learning yet. We haven't integrated that information into our conscious awareness. We haven't accepted it as being a part of us. We're rejecting it at that point in time. And while we're rejecting it, we haven't got the learning. We haven't assimilated the information to the point where we can feel neutral and at peace about that thing out there. Now, here's the upside. See, many people, when they look at perception as projection, they're immediately only sorting for that negative aspect and looking at it as a negative thing, but that's not the truth. The mirror image of this goes something like this. When you look outside in the world and you see someone, you say, wow, that person is amazing. They're just so aspirational. They're powerful. They're confident. You just see something outside of you and you're in awe. Guess what? That's actually you. You see, equally so, you couldn't see that in someone else unless that lived inside of you also. Now, often we have to be able to recognize that inside of us and really own that to feel and connect with that. But the fact of the matter is that if we are looking outside and seeing that in someone else, that wonderful quality or aspect in someone, then that is you. You are projecting that out from the inside. So perception as projection says that you are projecting your entire universe outside of you. According to the book Flow by Mikhail Csikszentmihalyi, there's about 2 million bits per second of information all around you at any given time. 2 million bits of information flying into your nervous system every second. And your nervous system can only handle about 134 bits. This means that you delete, you distort, you generalize all the other bits of information that are out there. And what you're doing is only taking in about 134 bits. My trainer and NLP mentor would always use the metaphor of the toothpicks. Imagine that there's 2 million toothpicks of information going right past you every second. And as you reach out and grab, you can only grab 134 of those toothpicks, bringing that into your nervous system to be able to create your model of the world or your reality. The question you have to ask yourself is, how long before that pile of toothpicks is way over your head? I'm going to suggest it's only a few seconds. That's how much information you're not seeing out there. Now, the interesting thing is that same 2 million bits of information that are going past me are going past you too. They're going past successful people that you see in your life. They're going past unsuccessful people, by people that are learning to become more successful. The same 2 million bits per second are going past all of us. The big question is, guess who's in charge of what they reach out and grab? You are. So perception as projection says to me that there's so much information in the universe. There's so much that you can see and experience, and it's totally up to you what you reach out and grab. And no matter what you reach out and grab at any moment, you have to simultaneously remember that everything, including you, the universe, you as an individual, whatever you're thinking that you are perceiving in the moment, is so much more than that. Sometimes people get locked into this label and this particular style of 134 bits as they think I'm a carpenter or I'm a plumber or I'm a lawyer or I'm a father. They label themselves, and in any given moment, you can be so much more than that. It's all out there, and yet it's all being projected from the inside. So one of the major themes that I'm going to be talking about throughout this model of empowerment is perception is projection. Every being lives and creates a unique universe, which can never be 100% identical to that of another. From the point of view of the observer, it feels like they're the center of the universe. This is the same for every observer, for every individual being. That means that one person's reality therefore must be different from another person's reality. everyone that you meet, everyone that you see, they have their own reality. As you become more congruent in your own reality, if that's something you want to do, if you want to share this information, if you're going to work with someone, if you're going to make a difference in another person's life, one thing that I've learned is that it's pointless arguing about which path to run. I'm not here to tell you that your reality is right or wrong. I'm here to tell you that there is more reality than what you are perceiving right now. What I want to share with you is a reality that I've experienced since I started to change the types of beliefs that I hold in order to gain empowerment. Take with it what you can and adopt that. Bring it into your own reality and make it yours if you so choose to. And no matter how much information that I share with you, we still are going to have a different reality. And that's fine. It's pointless arguing with someone whether or not they're experiencing something that's real or not. Become more congruent in what you believe is real. And that will then spread out to other people around you. They will begin to see your reality. So it's okay to have your own reality. It's okay to have your own experience. Bring these concepts and ideas into your own experience and notice how it shifts how you think about yourself and the world around you. That's what perception is projection is. And thank you so much for joining me for this episode. Please go ahead and subscribe, rate, and review if you can find the time to do that. Now, that is going to help me so much to get this message out to people that can benefit from it. So, subscribe, rate, and review. This is Matthew Tweedy for the Power of Practice podcast. Signing off. Ciao for now. Keep growing and evolving.